Hello guys, it is me again, it's HorrorFan34, and welcome back to another video, and welcome to day 10 of my 31 days of October of marathon of reviews. So once again, I hope you guys are enjoying these so far. I know many of you have really been enjoying them so far, so thanks a lot for all your kind comments. Glad you're enjoying this marathon of reviews for Halloween. Now that we are on day 10 for the month of October, I figured I'd review another film that I feel is very underrated. It's another one of my personal favorites. It does have some science fiction elements to it too, but it is also a horror film, and it's a slasher film too. One of the more underrated slasher films, and really interesting concept too behind the idea of this kind of concept being a slasher. And if you can tell by the title, that review is going to be on Halloween. Now, Halloween was a film that came out in the year of 2000, directed by Paul Verhoeven, who I think is a very solid director. I know after this film, I know that he wasn't really happy with how this turned out, so then he kind of didn't really get on to direct much stuff anymore, which is a shame. I'll get into that in a minute, but Paul Verhoeven as a director I really do like. He directed, before this film, directed four solid films. You know, he did the original RoboCop, he did Total Recall with Arnold, directed Basic Instinct, which is a really good Sharon Stone film, and also directed Starship Troopers as well. Now you get on to this one, Halloween. And then of course he did Showgirls, which, yeah. But maybe I'll talk about that one day down the road. But anyways, this is about Halloween. It came out in the year 2000. Stars Kevin Bacon. You have Elizabeth Shue. You also have Josh Brolin. Kim Dickens, who is the main female detective in Gone Girl. She's one of the scientists in this film too. And the story is very simple. You have Kevin Bacon as a scientist who finds this experiment where he can turn invisible, and slowly starts to lose his mind and starts killing off his fellow scientist associates. And you have Elizabeth Shue as our female lead, and Josh Brolin as her new boyfriend, who's also a scientist. Like I said, Kim Dickens is one of the scientists who works with him too. And this film I think is very underrated. It has a really solid cast. It's easily one of my personal favorite Kevin Bacon films. I mean, Kevin Bacon as an actor I really do enjoy. You know him because I think he was born in Philadelphia, so that's pretty cool. And from Few Good Men to Flatliners to this film, Tremors, Friday the 13th. Kevin Bacon's the star of Echoes. I mean, Kevin Bacon as an actor I really do enjoy. Same with Elizabeth Shue. I really enjoy her as an actress, from The Karate Kid, among others. It's cool to see Josh Brolin way before he was Thanos in Avengers. It's cool to see Kim Dickens way before Gone Girl. She's in this film too. It's pretty cool to see her. And you have a lot of capable movie people behind this film. Not only do you have Paul Verhoeven directing the film, but you also have the musical score is done by Jerry Goldsmith, who I miss Jerry Goldsmith a lot. Jerry Goldsmith is no longer with us anymore. But I really do enjoy the musical score by Jerry Goldsmith. It's edited by Mark Goldblatt, who did The Punisher, who directed The Punisher with Dolph Lundgren. And you just have a lot of people behind this film that have done their fair share of good stuff in Hollywood. And I think Halloween is one of those films that I feel is just underrated. Now getting onto the whole Paul Verhoeven thing, I know Paul Verhoeven wasn't too happy with this film because I read somewhere in an interview with him that he said that anybody could have made this film because what he's like. There's a part of the interview that he said that was very much true. He said, no one could make the way I made RoboCop, or no one could make the way I did Total Recall or Starship Troopers, and he's right. No one else can make RoboCop like he did, or Total Recall, or Starship Troopers. Like, he's right on that. But when he gets to this, when he talks about Hollow Man, he talks about how like he felt this was a typical Hollywood film, and anybody could have made this film. I'm sorry, Paul Verhoeven. I like you as a director, but I think I have to wholeheartedly disagree with your opinion on that one, because not anybody would have made this film. I mean, because you think about the concept. In the beginning of this review, when I was talking about how this was like a slasher film with an interesting concept, it's an R-rated slasher film with an invisible man. And I know Paul Verhoeven said that he said that anybody could have made this film. I'm sorry, Paul. Nobody would have never. Anybody. How do I put this? Not everyone would have made this film. Like, how many R-rated Invisible Man slasher films are there? Anyone? Bueller? Exactly. None. Like, there's no really R-rated slasher films that deal with an Invisible Man. There have been Invisible Man movies, but I'm talking about an Invisible Man, but it's an R-rated slasher film with tons of gore and things like that. They just go full force. Not anybody would have made this film. I mean, you know, who would have thought of an idea of an R-rated Invisible Man slasher film where they don't hold back on the blood? Like, no one would have. It's like, you know, I feel like this is an original idea. You know, a slasher film with an Invisible Man. I think that's a cool idea. And before this, there had been Invisible Man films, but not to the extent of it's a slasher film. And I think Paul is. I have to wholeheartedly disagree. You know, I think this film was an original idea, because nobody would have never made this kind of movie. I mean, this is not a typical film that you see in Hollywood. Like I said, there's like no other Invisible Man slasher films besides the crappy sequel to this. But other than that, there has been no other R-rated slasher Invisible Man movies, and I think this is a great one. And I think it's a really solid film. I really like Kevin Bacon. I like Elizabeth Shue, Josh Brolin. It's very bloody. It doesn't hold back. There's a lot of creepy sequences in this film as well. I love the whole finale when Kevin Bacon's chasing after Elizabeth Shue and Josh Brolin in the elevator shaft. You know, it's got really well done special effects. And from what I remember too, I think it was up for an Oscar for the special effects, but I think it lost out to Gladiator. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure that's right. But I think the special effects in this one are pretty good. Doesn't hold back on the blood. It's R-rated. It's a really cool idea of an Invisible Man being in a slasher film, but you have a budget behind it. You have a very solid director. You have a very solid cast, especially Kevin Bacon, who I think did a great job as the guy who goes crazy. Even right here on the back, right here. And I love the tagline, "Think you're alone, think again." And I think that's what's cool about this film, because he's an Invisible Man, you don't know when he's going to attack. And I think that's such a cool idea. And I just don't understand why Paul Verhoeven said that anybody would have made this film, because I think he's wrong. Like, no one would have never made this film, except for you. Like, there's no other R-rated slasher films that deal with an Invisible Man. And I think you made a pretty damn good one. It's a really solid film. It's directed very well. It's got a very solid cast, a great musical score. I just love everything about this film. I'm not going to say much more about Hollow Man, but if you haven't seen this film yet, I would highly recommend you check this out. So anyways, thanks a lot for watching my review for Hollow Man, and I will see you guys next time. Alright guys, take care.